We're on Unit 9, Lesson 4 homework, and so number 1 says prove that the shape below is a parallelogram. So think about how we prove that a shape is a parallelogram, and to do that we're going to try to show that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. If the sides are parallel, then they will have the same slope. So you want to think about the slopes of each side. So it says label the shape using any letters you'd like to help organize your work. So I'm going to go with frog, F-R-O-G. And so I want to find the slopes of all of those sides. I'm going to start with the slope of FR. And so since it's a completely horizontal line, its slope is going to be 0. And I'm going to do the slope of GO as well. And it's also a horizontal line whose slope is 0. I'm going to make sure I write a conclusion about that. Since those two lines have the same slope, then I can say they're parallel. FR is parallel to GO because they have the same slope. Alright, so now you want to look at the other pair of sides, which would be GF and OR. Now this isn't on a graph, but they're giving you some coordinates for F and R. So if you're counting the slope, you need to picture counting the rise and the run. So I would be going up to the Y value, which is 5, and I'd be going over to the X value, which is 7, making my slope for this be 5 over 7. And then you're going to do the same to get the slope of OR, up 5 over how many to get from 9 to 16. And you're going to write that the same way we wrote the slopes for the first two. If those sides are also parallel, then you would write another statement, just like this one that we wrote here with FR and GO. And don't forget to write a conclusion statement at the end saying that it's a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. All right, so that's number 1. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. Number 2 says, given quadrilateral PQRS below, is PQRS a rectangle? Prove your answer is true. So if it were to be a rectangle, then we would know that opposite sides would have to be parallel, and there would have to be right angles. So you're going to check the slopes to see if they meet to form right angles, and they would only meet to form right angles if their slopes were negative reciprocals. So you're going to find the slopes of all of the lines, slope of PQ, and the slope of QR, and the slope of SR, and the slope of PS. So actually, before I answer this question, is it a rectangle, I'm going to find the slopes first to verify, and then I'll say yes or no, it is a rectangle or isn't a rectangle based on your findings up here.